I grew up in a place where everybody had a greenhouse. My parents did, my grandparents did, my aunts did. So finally, when I got into where I am right now today, I said I need one for myself. So I'm going to show you how we set it up and what challenges we dealt with. So first of all, my yard is very uneven, and we decided, because we do get winds where sometimes the neighbor's tree may end up in my yard, so we decided to actually put it on the wooden base. And let me tell you, that alone took like maybe a day, of course, with some time off, just to dig it, and level it up. But we wanted to make sure that this thing is gonna stay and be stable as much as possible. So it probably will be different for people who have like paved yards, very even places. I do live in a town that it has hills, so you can actually maybe not see it as much when you go into my yard, but when you use the leveler, you can see it. So I definitely recommend using something like that. That way you will not be worried about it in the winter, or with the snow, or with heavy rain and wind. So okay, the second part is actually building the greenhouse. So the metal frame is the first thing we lay down. That was even before we dug the place for it. That way we see the size of it. And let me tell you, we actually got it the 6 by 10 one. And I want to see when we measured it, it wasn't quite 10 feet. It was like 9, I don't know, 9.6 or so. I'm not sure like right now how much exactly, but we had to cut our board a little bit again for the base, because I would suggest you receive your kit, measure it, like put together before you actually cut any wood if you do use it for the base, because ours was not quite accurate. Like it wasn't like exact 6 by 10, which is not a big deal. But if you are that type of person that likes to get all the materials ready, I would suggest wait until everything comes, and then you can check. Now we didn't have any parts missing, so that was like really nice, because I did read some people had that experience, and you can contact the company and get it, but we didn't have to. So once you put a frame and you follow basically steps, it does have very nice instructions. I do recommend having more time scheduled maybe than you think is gonna take you, and having a hand that helps. It's also beneficial. Not that you can't do it yourself, but there are a few pieces that it definitely helps to have a second person to put them in. And you don't have to have somebody who is like knowledgeable at construction. It's just when the last pieces go in, or on one side or another, it's very difficult to do it by yourself. Like some pieces, not because it's difficult, but you just need somebody to actually stand and maybe hold or push it in just a little bit. So honestly, even a child can help. So because we use the wooden base, I have to say that there are a few things I like about it. First of all is that it makes the inside of the house taller. So it adds quite a few inches, and it doesn't feel like small at all when you're inside. So I love it that it added actually some height to it. Now the other thing I really like also is that it gave us opportunity to actually screw it in to the base. That way I know that it's more stable. And we did it as the last step from inside, with special nails. And we did it only because we didn't want to secure it before all the panels were in, because sometimes it may move, or need us to move something, or maybe we didn't, maybe we missed the step, and it just was easier to do it in the end. That we didn't have to undo something. So 6 by 10, I plan to make two large beds basically built in the house. I don't want like shelves or anything, just for starters. I just actually want actually have real garden beds in it. And it should be plenty for like 4 tomatoes, 2 cucumbers, some peppers, and some regular veggies. I basically measured that it should be enough for that. So one thing to keep in mind is that this is not a project that is gonna be thrown together in 30 minutes. I was very naive, thought, well, a few hours, it will be done. But no, actually, we started maybe at 1 p.m., 9 p.m. we finished. But we did go out to eat in the meantime. So it didn't take, like all this time straight work. But, unless you like to be in a hurry, it does take some hours. Now, I also like that it has actually, like, as you see, water sprout. I guess when I bought it, I didn't read about it, so it's very exciting.